Never let it be said that I'm an exclusive fan of movies that target adult audiences. I'm just as happy to watch something that's mindless entertainment with a lower bar as I am a slow, dramatic, and well-paced movie. However, in both cases, they have to be well done. Thankfully, Iron Man does many things right and few things wrong. It's fun, sarcastic, and unapologetic when showing how cool excessive spending can really be. It harnesses one of the best and most underrated actors in Hollywood, Robert Downey Jr., a guy who probably isn't that far off from Tony Stark's character, except for being a drug addict, and a super mechanical genius, and having more money than God. Alright, so they're pretty different. But hey, at least they got the sarcasm right. Tony Stark is the focus of the movie well before Iron Man shows up. It reminds me of some other movie that did that. I can't quite think of it. Oh well, it'll come to me. After the conclusion of the first act, this movie could have gone anywhere. This one just happens to go towards a superhero movie. As with Batman Begins, this is a good movie first and a superhero movie second. Its story and characters are compelling and interesting enough to stand on their own, without the need of a flashy suit to make us feel justified for having paid the price of admission. That being said, having a shiny metal suit simply adds to the cool factor this movie is saturated with. The Iron Man suit itself looks stunning. I've always said that CGI looks better when it's applied to metallic versus organic objects, and this movie proves my point. Iron Man actually looks real, and thank God, not like an in-game cutscene. But what I really like about Iron Man's character is that he kills people. Oh yes, no moral agenda, no hang-ups, no red tape. Think it might be fun to attack a group of villagers for no real reason other than to show how much of a walking stereotype you are? Well, guess what? Iron Man isn't a fan of your angry terrorist ways. And no, you won't get a pass, or trial, or even a chance to explain yourself. You're either going to be arm cannoned, shoulder lasered, or simply left to fend for yourself against the very people you tried to murder. And by the way, I'm sure that guy went peacefully. Haha! Get it? Yeah. Anyway, it was nice to see a hero that didn't take the value of life too seriously. Not to point fingers, but a lot of times heroes somehow have to trick villains into killing themselves. But oh no, not Iron Man. He straight up murders people, and what does he do afterwards? Eats a Whopper. Awesome. As long as I'm on the sort of villager saving topic, I have to address this one thing that really bugged me. Having just saved the village from being massacred, Stark is flying home and probably feeling pretty good about slaughtering all those terrorists. The United States government gets a peek of him on their radar, and without batting an eye, gives the order to shoot him down. No inquiry, no questions, just, you know what this is? Nope. Well shit man, shoot it down. But sir, it just saved those people. There's no time. We can't have something doing good consequence-free. Now shoot that metal fucker down. The ensuing battle ends with Tony Stark destroying 2 raptors that cost about $137 million each. Wow, so to save those people cost about $300 million in taxpayer dollars? We got ripped off. And here's the best part. They don't even know it was an American. They just think it's some guy in a metal suit, or maybe they think it's Allah or Muhammad or something. Here's a tip. Next time, drop some flags or at least a business card. That way you actually get credit for your work instead of leaving the frightened locals to decide for themselves as to what actually happened. Ugh, Jesus, $300 million. Hell, we're already $500 trillion in debt. What's the worst that could... No, wait. But what Iron Man and all the Marvel superheroes really lack, with the exception of Spidey and the X-Men, is real villains. Okay, so you're telling me the main bad guy in this film is some overly greedy businessman? You should have let him live. If he thought his stock dropping a few points was the worst thing possible, he probably would have put a gun to his head by now if he were real. But seriously, who cares about this guy? Sure, he's bad, but what's his motive? Money? Please. Is that all? You know he's worth more than 99% of the global population. What's more, he must have been a good guy at some point in his life. I mean, he was friends with Stark's father and Tony Stark himself for a good amount of time. You're telling me he just gets up out of bed one day and decides that being worth $1 billion isn't enough? He needs to sell weapons to terrorists to make ends meet? Really? His retarded motives aside, once he gets into the overly large Iron Man suit, he basically becomes a bigger and meaner version of Iron Man. Kind of cool, I guess, but it might have been more fun to see Iron Man fight something other than a less evolved version of himself. And god damn it, why did Stark have to take his mask off at the end battle? Before that point, I was like, yeah, are you watching this, Spider-Man? Are you taking notes, Raimi? This is how you do it. You let the superhero fight and leave the actor the fuck out of it. Listen, Hollywood, I know your stars want FaceTime, but I'm watching Iron Man, not Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Downey did a fantastic job as Stark, but Stark's job is to talk and build stuff, not to fight. That's Iron Man's job. Please, in the future, let Iron Man do the fighting and keep his fucking mask on. Nitpicking aside, Iron Man is about as good as a superhero movie can be. Is it on par with The Dark Knight? I don't think so, but I could understand why some people might think that way. While Dark Knight took a stab at a true epic drama that happened to focus around comic book characters, Iron Man said the hell with that and just made a witty, well-rounded, believable, and entertaining movie. Had it had more action, it could have truly been one of the greats, but for now, it will just have to settle for being less than Batman, but better than Spider-Man. Oh yeah, and Black Sabbath sucks. Sorry, Ozzy.